Last minute guests, do not stress, I have the answer. Really all you need is a twist of ingenuity, a few foods on standby and some fabulously easy express recipes and you're out of a pickle. So to turn a weekend family lunch into something really more spectacular, my juicy branded bacony chicken, salad with an intensely golden vinaigrette and Moorish chocolate pudding all do the trick. And with just a little warning, lamb, mint and red currant salad wows them every time. And when guests descend unexpectedly at the very last minute, salvation is in the form of spicy sausage with halloumi cheese and peppers and chocolate peanut butter fudge sundae. I am calm and ready for whatever life throws at me at the kitchen now. Unexpected guests, last minute suppers, they don't worry me. This is Store Cupboard SOS, on the spot food the express way. I'm a great believer in making sure I always have a stash of long life goodies in here, so I know I've always got the wherewithal to make a quick meal without any planning. Get my oven tray, and I have to say my merguez sausage, halloumi cheese and red pepper bake is one of my all-time favourite fallbacks. It's just so easy. I'm starting with my halloumi. Now halloumi is just a very salty cheese. This one has got goats, cows and sheep's milk in it. It's quite a hard cheese, not very fatty, and what I love about it is that it doesn't go gooey when it heats up, it just softens slightly and all its tastes intensify. Generally speaking, what I do is I fry it in an oilless pan and it gets wonderfully blistered. But this is great too. Just slice it finely and strew it the bottom of an oven dish. There are 3 of us eating and 1 packet of halloumi is fine. So scatter this white cheese, letting it crumble as well, that's always good. The more that gets dispersed, the better. This is actually a Swiss roll tin, but it'll do fine. Shallowness is good, and I haven't got time to be going through all my trays. Next, some peppers. I always keep a jar of these flame roasted peppers around. Sometimes they're labelled char grill. Basically what it is are peppers that have been roasted and their skins removed. And again, it's about contrast because they're so deliciously sweet, and the mixture with the halloumi, all that saltiness, it's perfection. And I rather like the dazzling burst of colour as well. Strictly speaking, you don't really need any oil, but I'm going to drizzle on a little bit of garlic oil just because I want the flavour. If you want, what you could do instead is just sprinkle over some Italian seasoning. Really up to you. Last of all, and not a very long list of ingredients, the merguez sausages. Merguez are North African sausages and very spicy, which I love. These lovely sausages are so skinny, and I don't normally like that in anything, that they cook incredibly fast. I preheated the oven to 220, and I think in 10 to 15 minutes, this will be ready. So what I've got to do now is when this comes out of the oven, make sure there's basil for everyone to scatter over, get some flatbreads out of the freezer to warm up, and dinner is served. Better just clear the decks for pudding. The pantry really is a lifesaver when you haven't got time to go shopping. And you can just make something without any notice, and not just any old something, but something really special. This is my peanut butter chocolate fudge sauce for ice cream. I've got some dry roasted peanuts, some really good dark chocolate, little buttons. I want some condensed milk, and don't sneer, this is fabulous, and some smooth peanut butter. And together this means that unexpected guests always feel more than welcome. An ice cream sundae is universally irresistible, and the thing about my peanut butter chocolate fudge sauce is that it will turn any ice cream you've got in your freezer into a sensation. I'm starting off with sweetened condensed milk. I have a bit of a soft spot for condensed milk because when we were children, my mother used to give us tubes of condensed milk that we used to suck on. Very healthy. That's just under half a can of condensed milk going in there, about 200 millilitres. Next, 100 grams of dark chocolate chips. No chopping and they melt fast. And, now this is glorious, 100 grams of smooth peanut butter. I want it to be smooth because I do think that texture is crucially important in all food, but especially in an ice cream sundae. You've got such contrast of textures, because if you think about it, you've got the cool, smooth ice cream, hot, grainy, fudgy sauce, and then later, which I love, I've got some crunch with some salted peanuts. This will melt and become a sauce in a matter of moments, so I'm going to go to the freezer and get the ice creams out now to soften a little. Vanilla, chocolate, toffee. Always have a good supply. And I think it makes sense to thin the sauce a little with some hot water from a kettle, maybe 3 or 4 tablespoons, because it will thicken as it stands in a jug. So I want it a little thinner now, easier to pour as well. And I'm done. In it goes. Crisis delectably averted. Lisa, I'm going to start with you.
Lovely. Can I eat this now?
My mother never let us wait. The minute you were served, you had to eat because she felt it was rude to the cook.
That's true.
Now, since I know that neither of you like to eat very much, I've just got you a light pudding.
Yes.
Ice cream sundae. I have chocolate ice cream, I have toffee ice cream, I have vanilla. And now, chocolate peanut butter fudge sauce.
Hot chocolate.
And dry roasted
Now, I like a salted
peanuts.
peanut as much as anyone, but on top of that...
Oh, you're going to thank me. You're going to throw rose petals on the floor where'er I walk. So here you are, and just in case that's not enough for you, I've got some chocolate cigars.
Oh, that's very nice.
Isn't it?
Now that's what I call a proper person. She's having the cigar as well. When the girls come round in the evening, I really want to spend maximum amount of time with them. So I do this really wonderful Asian-inspired lamb salad, which requires no more than a couple of minutes by the stove. And first, little pit stop, once in the pantry, once by the fridge. My armoury for making good food fast is in this room. To tell the truth, I could cook from anywhere in the world from these shelves. But now to Asia, I need fish sauce, I need rice vinegar, I need soy, I need crushed chilies, and not very Asian, but I need it, you need it, red currant jelly. So for my spiky lamb salad, first, garlic oil. In goes the lamb loins. Right, these need 5 minutes, so I'm going to get on with the dressing-y sauce. Everything I need. Rice vinegar. Fair amount. Same fish sauce. You've gathered these are the Southeast Asian elements. Bit of soy, not too much, but a bit of saltiness for the sweet lamb. Good thing. And now, red currant jelly. Bit of crushed chilli. Really depends on how much poke you want. Right, I'm going to turn the lamb. I've had there 5 minutes. Another couple of minutes. Oh, look. Come on, don't fight me. That's better. A few spring onions. In you go. Bit of a whisk up. Right, I think the lamb is ready. I'm going to wrap it in foil, continue cooking in its own heat, that kind of thing. 1, 2. Bit of salad. Bit more. Right, the lamb has sat for long enough, should be properly cooked. It's still juicy inside. It feels perfect. And a bit of incompetent carving is called for. A slice, I never know, against the grain, with the grain, where the grain is. A bit underdone, but that's desirable as the meat carries on cooking in the acid dressing there. This goes in here to steep. A bit of a stir around. Let's let the meat go into the juices before topping the salads, but I might have a... strew chunkily. Bit of dressing. Last 2. Let's duly splodge. Just a bit of mint. Have red currant jelly, got our mint. Right, last bit of mint on this one. Dinner is served. I always think there's nothing nicer than something in a bowl. Only better thing is really a bowl lying in bed. Very nice. So here's the story. It's Saturday, I'm sitting upstairs calmly, I've got a chicken in the fridge for lunch, when suddenly it turns out I've got a couple of unexpected guests for lunch. I mean, that's fine, just need to jazz up my normal family roast. Seems that a bit of express action is called for. Right, so dressed down Saturday lunch, puts its party clothes on. I'm turning a plain roast chicken, though there's nothing wrong in that, into my bacony branded chicken. Bit of garlic oil in a pan to get everything going. What I like to do is fry a couple of rashers of bacon in the pan. The only important thing I'd say to you is the bacon must not be lean, because it's precisely those gorgeous salty juices, the bacon fat, that I want to roast the chicken in later. While the bacon sizzles away, I'm going to get on with unwrapping my boiled, lovely plump chicken. The bacon is now all crisped up and it's rendered its salty juices into the pan. I'm going to put the cooked rashers of bacon inside the cavity of the chicken so it gets permeated with flavour from the inside as well as in the pan. Just time for a little declutter and hand wash. And now my chicken really gets the star treatment. I'm going to anoint it with some bubbled down brandy, about 4 tablespoons, and I deglaze the bacon fat. I let it bubble away a bit. Now the thing about this, just letting it bubble down a little, is that not only does it infuse the chicken with its flavour, but it also helps it bronze beautifully as it roasts. And the lovely thing about this is not only am I getting a bit of juice for later, but once the chicken is roasted and I've got it sitting on the carving tray, I'm going to turn a couple of drained cans of lentils into all those juices. Can't wait. Anyway, this plumptious beauty now needs to go into the oven, 220 oven, for 50 minutes to an hour, and I can get on with the dressing to make my salad special. be honest, when it's just me having a salad or me and the children, I don't make a dressing. I just pour over a little olive oil and spritz a bit of lemon straight on the leaves. But my golden vinaigrette does add a bit of oomph, and that's what I'm after here. Oomph with ease. That is my mission. The basis of the golden vinaigrette is Dijon mustard, and it just makes life a bit simpler to use the jar I've got here, because I've got 2 tablespoons left, and that's about it. Dijon mustard has got a certain peppery vinegariness, which is desirable in this context, but I want to counter that with the sweetness of honey. About a tablespoon. Beautiful as it oozes in. After the sweetness of the honey, the citrus hit of some lemon juice. Probably about 2.5 tablespoons of lemon juice. I'd say half a lemon here, really. So I'm going to try and aim into my jar. But really, that's the beauty of this vinaigrette. It's just a few splashes of things into a jar, bit of a shake, we're done. Want a little bit of salt, about half a teaspoon of coarse salt. Use a quarter of a teaspoon if you're using fine flowing table salt, but go for the coarse salt if you can, because the flavour is better. And now some oil, the last ingredient here. Now I like to use rapeseed oil. I want about 125 millilitres. Not only is it gloriously golden to look at, but it's got a really rounded, nutty flavour, and it's cheaper than olive oil. So, lid on, bit of a shake, the dressing's done, and I can go into the pantry and whittle about the pudding. A proper lunch needs a proper pudding, and I have in mind my chocolate pear pudding, which sounds like, why go to this trouble? But I promise you, it is no trouble. It's fantastically easy and mercifully quick. I love the fact that with no notice, I've always got the wherewithal to make something as comforting as my chocolate pear pudding. I start off with a couple of cans of pears. I use the ones in juice, not syrup. Just drain them and lay them however you want on the bottom of a square pie dish, about 23 centimetres square, I think. Doesn't really matter how you put them in the dish. I tend always to put them with the hump sides uppermost. Do as you please. That's the pears done. Now on to the chocolate sponge they're going to be draped with. Simple enough. I start off with 125 grams of plain flour. And I'd say the same amount of sugar, just caster sugar for preference. And then 25 grams, quite a lot, of good cocoa. And it's this that lends the sponge its deep chocolatey intensity. A teaspoon of baking powder, just a quarter teaspoon of bicarb. I want 150 grams of soft unsalted butter, just all in one go, and that's the beauty of this method. And then simply 2 teaspoons of good vanilla extract and 2 eggs. So not only can you have everything to hand, but it's not even hard work once you start making it. The only thing horrible about this is the noise. I can take it. That's it. It's a rather thicker batter than I often make for cakes. I mean, normally I might thin it with some milk, but the reason is I think some of these pears will leach out a little bit of liquid, delicious as well. So I want the cake mix to be thicker to start off with. And don't worry as you spatula the chocolate sponge mixture on top of the pears if some bits of pears peek out. I mean, what could be wrong with that? And all is done, except that this now needs to go in the bottom shelf of the 220 oven for 25 to 30 minutes. Our pudding is made. How easy is that? Now, rather than faffing about on the stove making gravy, I'm going to use all these gorgeous juices to make a warm dressing for a lentil salad. And that's just a couple of cans of organic puy lentils, but you can use any lentils you like. Let's turn the little lentils in the juices. Want a bit of parsley, I've got some here. A bit of chopped parsley, not much, but I don't need much. And then I'll just plonk this on my table, ready to eat. Salad. Some green and crispy designer leaves. Love green and pink together, but I like the crunchiness here with my golden dressing. I'm dressing this salad rather generously, but I'm in a greedy mood. Now my biggest challenge, carve up. I am possibly the world's worst carver. I mean, I'm willing to believe, hoping there will be a worse one. I'm not sure, but first, a bit of a cook's perk. Okay. Let's try. Oh, so far so good, she boasted. Anyway, the thing is, when you've got a good chicken cooked well, it can't taste bad. The carving is immaterial. My last supper on this earth would have to be, I tell you, roast chicken. Try a bit more. Oh, I'm losing patience with this. I know it's not how it's meant to be done, but it's the way I do it. Nice nuggets of tender flesh. Bit of ripping. Luscious. It helps that I've got asbestos hands. I love the wings, and so does my son, Bruno. Right, well, I said I wasn't going to make gravy, but who needs to when you've got all these lovely juices? Beautiful. And one last touch. A few bits of bacon from the inside. They'll be fighting over these pieces, but never mind. And that's it. Lunch is ready. Well, thank you, darling. Hello. And despite the fact that we're clashing, can I lentil you up?
Yes, please.
You are? I think you're going to find it easy to just take the whole one, darling.
Oh, wicked.
It's mother's son. Very proud of you, darling. You never heard the expression family hold back?
Yes, I remember that well.
I know. I'll hold for you. Has anyone else got my eccentric taste and wants mustard with their chicken? Okay, eat up everyone, and then we're going to eat pudding.
What's pudding?
And chocolate sponge with pear.
Tinned or fresh pear?
How can you ask? Tinned.
Of course. Chocolate.
Oh, this is so delicious, this one.
How do you think it's still melted?
Because I don't cook it for too long, so I want some of it to stay gooey and some of it to go like a sponge.
So, do you like this every day?
Well, we try. Watch it, you know.
Yeah.